you so much, Maria. So right now I'll go ahead to talk about the Chinese New Year. So on the slide, you should see that there are three different titles, which are like they all refer to the same thing, but people usually use all these three different titles. So I'm gonna explain first that the Spring Festival is used because it's like a literal translation of the Chinese name of the celebration. And the Chinese New Year is sort of not accurate, but it's used often because the Chinese population is very large, and and when they celebrate New Year, people think that it's only unique to the Chinese culture, but actually many East Asian cultures and many other Asian cultures in general have this the New Year celebration. Different, like on a different date than the American New Year. And then the Lunar New Year is sort of like the most accurate or universal way to refer to it, because the so we all know that like the Chinese New Year or like the Lunar New Year is on like a different date from January 1st usually, and it's because of the lunar calendar. So it's a calendar that follows the cycle of moon, and it was used in ancient times for agriculture. So people would see that like when the moon is like gone, you should start harvesting or like seeding some many things like that. Um, so also in China, each year is associated with a zodiac sign. So when so the year that you were born, you are like, that's your zodiac sign. So I was born in so there are 12 of them, and it starts with red and end with pig. So it's on the top. And so I was born in 1999, but since my birthday was before the New Year date, which is different from January 1st, like in the common calendar, I was still counted as a tiger. So maybe you can look at the picture and see what is your own zodiac sign. Yeah, and feel free to type your zodiac signs into the chat. Were you born in 1998? Oh, okay. Ooh, nice. Oh, yeah. Both Maria and I were are tigers. Yeah. So these zodiac signs are used. It's sort of like star signs. I think I put something here. So it's really commonly used to associate it with like personalities and like hobbies and such that. For example, tigers, and people say you have like a lot of ambitions, and you like when like a tiger is in the same room with a like a goat, the tiger will dominate like the atmosphere. But like we listen to them but don't treat them too seriously. Yeah. Yeah, so Chinese New Year, New Year is just very huge in China. So like about a month before people start preparing. So it's sort of like Christmas. You need to decorate your room, buy gifts, all that. But in China, you also need to start decorating your room. So I have some pictures here that people will hang spring couplets and the full character, like the square diamond shaped in the middle, and all the lanterns on the picture on the right. And these are just some decorations. They are all in bright red color, which is very important. People also start cleaning up their rooms, so they don't want any dust or any unclean stuff to stay in the room until the next year. And people also go out to get new clothes a lot. So they're also in bright red color, which I'll explain later the reason for that. And people always also go out to get a haircut. So it's really funny because like hairdressers, like salons, they'll have like they'll be very very busy right before the New Year, but nobody comes after the New Year. yeah, it's sort of like superstition because so I don't know if many of you know that in ancient times Chinese people keep like whether men or women, they keep very long hair. Like you are not supposed to cut your hair at all your entire lifetime because that hair means life. So it's something given from your parents. Like so if you cut them, you are just losing your life and you might be in danger. So right now, people just get a haircut before the new year to have good luck for the next year. And you also need to, more for the older people, they'll prepare red envelopes for younger people. So they'll give it as a gift, sort of for just for money that you can spend on your own. Okay, and this is a picture of red envelopes. So I used to get a lot of them when I was young, but not anymore. Okay. Yeah, so I mentioned earlier that a bunch of the decorations are in the bright red color, and this is why. So we have a legend. It's about a monster called Nian, which is the same thing as year in Chinese. So like a monster called year, and so it comes every year. So that's sort of the name origin. It comes every year to a village to scare people off and maybe also eat people, and people are like troubled by it for a long time until a sort of a Chinese god, he came down to tell people that like if you put bright red color outside your door and then light up firecrackers, the monster will get scared. And so people actually did it on New Year's Eve for one night, and the monster was scared off. And so uh, this is why that we put on like still bright red color decorations and we play firecrackers, sort of just still to scare the monster off. Yeah, and this is the reason that firecrackers, spring couplets are used. So now we come to the New Year's Eve. So the first thing that we do is we have a huge dinner with everybody in the family, and family gathering is really important. So like um, even though like you are not very closely related, it's best that you get together just for New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. So a very big dinner, very big table. And the picture is kind of small, but like there are several foods that we always eat. So the idea of having something left at the end of year is really important to Chinese people because it means that you're rich, you're doing well. So after you spend a bunch of things, done a lot of things throughout the year, you still have something left. And left sounds similar to fish in Chinese. So we eat fish a lot just to um, have this luck that we'll have something left the next year as well. And we also eat dumplings because it's it has like a filling inside, so it means that you'll have wealth, so you'll have something in your wallet too. And then we also eat noodles because noodles are long, so it means that you live long for older people generally. Yeah. And then after like everybody have dinner, you go out to light firecrackers. You know, I have a video for that. Mm. As you can tell, like this is not like a national-wide celebration. Sort of like after you eat dinner, you sort of just go out with your family and you're stock up with firecrackers or fireworks before New Year's Eve, and then after you have dinner, you sort of just go out to light up firecrackers and fireworks. And it's sort of like really important for you to do it on your own. So like if like you are too afraid of the sound of the sound of it, like there's like little ones for children to light up as well. However, this Maria sort of mentioned earlier as well, like this causes a lot of pollution like to the air. And so like I guess this is why now like no national celebration is like used, but like a lot of people still do it on their own, but like usually not in like really dense population area. Like in Beijing, there's like 20 million people like in the what's it called? In the municipal area. So like that's where like you wouldn't be able to light up firecrackers. So after you have dinner, you light up firecrackers, you come back home, and then you turn on the TV. So there's like so CCTV is like um China, yeah, something with China in it, but not. I'm sorry, but not like the ones that you use just to watch people. Yeah. So yeah, we have a New Year's gala on different stations as well. So this is CCTV. So I think it's China's central television. So it's like the national one, and there's also like TV station for Beijing. For other provinces, there are like 34 provinces. So like most of the provinces have their own TV station, and they'll have a New Year's gala going on as well. So basically, a lot of people come on performing, singing, dancing, and also a lot of like stand-up comedians come as well. So just to put together as a celebration. It first started in the 1980s, and it got like very popular in the sense that that year a lot of very good performers came. So people were like, "This is so good," and they kept on going. But now like it's getting less and less popular. But people sort of just put it on because it has become a tradition. And then after, so the TV show sort of ends around 12. But like people still stay up. It's called 守岁. So it basically means that you stay up like the entire night in order to like bid a proper farewell to the last year and then welcome the new year properly. And it has been like this tradition has lasted for like thousands of years, and this is like the only time that you ancient people, because China has a very long history, so we have like a lot of like records left from ancient times. And so ancient people say that this is the only time that you are supposed to stay up the entire night like throughout the year. Yeah, so after New Year, on the next day, it would be the best to pay like a New Year call to all your other family members. So if like I live like an hour or 2 hours away, or maybe 30 minutes away from like a family member, it's the best that on the next day, so actually January 1st, but in lunar calendar, to pay a visit to other family members, just to bring them some gifts and just say greetings, and so for bid them good luck for the next year. So, and this is like the entire uh, process of celebrating the new year. And so uh, people get like so for students you get like 4 weeks of break just for New Year, so it's longer than Christmas, because uh, after the New Year there's other like celebrations as well, like the Lantern Festival and so on. Yeah, so and for workers, I think they'll get 2 weeks up to 3 weeks for this celebration as well, because it's very important. And yeah. Oh,
So now we've finished with the presentations on each of our countries, and we'd like you to discuss with a partner 2 questions. So the first one is, what is your favorite tradition from Peru, and what is your favorite tradition from China, based on what we told you? And then the second question is, do you think these traditions could fit well into the American way of celebrating New Year's Eve, or do you think that they're too different, or that people wouldn't really feel identified with them? So keep these questions in mind while you discuss them with your partner. Should we give it like 1 more minute? Or?
When they do the show with singers. Okay. All right, so there were a couple of questions while people are still putting more in the chat. So would you be able to tell a little bit more about the dragon? Like at the beginning, you showed a picture where there's a dragon in the parade of why they use the dragon.
Okay. Yeah, so some people ask me that like at the beginning of the here, let me go find it really quick. Yeah, so some people ask at the beginning why is the slide like this. So it's actually not yeah, there is a dragon, but also a snake, if anybody can tell. So I would say that this is like during the year of the snake. So people have this huge lights going on, and to signify that the year of the snake has come. Yeah, so it's different for each zodiac sign.
And someone also wanted to know a little bit more about the meaning behind the zodiac sign.
Oh yeah.
Where they come from.
So the zodiac signs, honestly, like, so for each year, like in ancient times, like we didn't use like numbers to represent each year. So, but like, for each year, there's like a name from a zodiac sign, and then so it's composed of two words. One word is from the zodiac sign. The other one is from another tradition that it's really complicated, but basically each year is named with two words, and it's like 60 years is a cycle. So like each 60 years it repeats. So after 60 years, people sort of start like a new cycle. But like we didn't use like this is like 2000 something or 1950, but we use like zodiac sign actually to represent that year. So that's like the meaning of it. But usually now we just like we have our own zodiac sign, and your grandparents will give you like accessories of your zodiac sign for your good luck. So it's sort of functions like a star sign. Yeah.
And why they wanted you to repeat why they need to scare the monster in the story.
Yeah. So the legend is the legend is about like this monster goes to like the village every year that to scare people, launders, like so steal things from the village and also eat people. So it's really so bad things are happening when the monster comes, and people are really suffering from it. But it only comes every year, like on the New Year's Eve. So when the Chinese god came, he told people that like if you use bright red color and the firecrackers, which produce like huge noises, and then you'll be able to scare the monsters off.
If you guys wanted to go to your last slide, you can. We can do more questions.
Yes.